The call came at 3 a.m., just like it always did. My brother never could time his rock bottoms conveniently. "Evie, please, he's in the hospital." Mum's voice cracked through my iPhone, that familiar mix of panic and manipulation that made my stomach turn. "The Range Rover's totaled. He was..." "Hi," I finished for her, already knowing the answer. My name is Evangeline, and this was the 7th rock bottom I'd witnessed in 5 years. "Or drunk, both." "That's not fair. He's trying." I laughed, the sound hollow in my empty apartment. "No, Mom, he's not, and neither are you." 2 hours later, I stood in my childhood living room, watching the same scene play out like a tired rerun. Mom pacing, mascara-stained tissues clutched in her manicured hands. Dad slumped in his leather recliner, checkbook ready, defeated. And Jackson, my baby brother, sprawled on the couch with a bandaged head and glazed eyes, playing the part of the repentant addict perfectly. "It's different this time," Jackson mumbled, his charm dimmed but not extinguished. "I found this amazing facility in Malibu. Ocean views, holistic therapy." $90,000, I cut in. "That's what you're really asking for." Mum whirled on me. "He needs help. What kind of sister are you? The kind who's already paid for 2 rehab stays?" I pulled out my phone, scrolling through my photos. "Remember Passages? 60,000. You promised it would stick that time too. And Sierra Tucson before that? Another 50 grand. "I'll pay you back," Jackson slurred. "Once I get back on my feet. Like you paid back the startup money I lent you, or the rent I covered for 6 months." My voice stayed level, even as my hand shook. "Or how about Mum and Dad's retirement fund you drained last year?" Dad finally spoke, his voice soft. "Evangeline, please. We're family." "Family?" The word tasted bitter. Was I family when you blamed me for his first overdose because I stressed him out by going to college? When Mum said I was showing off by starting my company instead of staying home to help with him? Jackson tried to sit up, wincing. "Sis, I know I messed up, but I'm scared. I could have died tonight. You could have killed someone else tonight," I corrected him. "That would have been new, at least. Instead of just killing us slowly, watching you destroy yourself while we enable it." Mom stepped between us, her face twisted with rage. "How dare you? He's sick. He needs treatment, not judgment. If you have the money..." "I do have the money," I said quietly. "That's not the point." "Then what is the point?" she screamed. "That you're too selfish to help your own brother? That your precious business matters more than family? You're nothing but a soulless, empty shell who only worships money." The silence that followed felt like glass breaking. I looked at each of them. Mum, trembling with self-righteous fury. Dad, avoiding my eyes. Jackson, already calculating his next move. "You're right," I said, reaching for my car keys. "I am selfish. I'm selfish enough to stop participating in this circus. I'm selfish enough to say no. And I'm selfish enough to walk away before you destroy me too." "If you leave now," Mum's voice turned deadly quiet, "don't ever come back." I paused at the door, looking back one last time. "That's the first honest thing you've said all night." The door slammed behind me with a finality that should have hurt more. Instead, as I walked to my car, a strange calm settled over me. My phone buzzed. Probably Mom, already backpedaling, trying to reel me back in. I declined the call. Starting the engine, I caught my reflection in the rearview mirror. I looked exactly like the heartless sister they accused me of being. But underneath the composed exterior, something else was taking shape. An idea born of rage and rejection and years of watching addiction destroy not just the addict, but everyone who loved them. "I'll save addicts," I whispered to my reflection. "Just not the one who buried me first." I pulled away from the house I grew up in, leaving the porch light on behind me. They'd need it later, when Jackson inevitably stumbled out to score whatever would help him forget tonight. But I was done being the light they left on, the safety net, the ATM, the scapegoat. Tomorrow I would start building something new, something that would help people who actually wanted to be helped. And if it happened to show my family exactly what they'd thrown away, well, that was just karma doing her job. My phone buzzed again. This time I turned it off completely. "So let me get this straight," Paxton said, leaning back in his chair at the crowded coffee shop. "You want to build a virtual rehab platform that's basically the opposite of every luxury treatment centre out there." I nodded, sliding my laptop around to show him the mock-ups. No ocean views, no equine therapy, no crystal healing, just hard work, accountability, and real results at a fraction of the cost. Paxton, former addict, brilliant programmer, and, potentially, my new business partner, studied the screens with intense focus. 6 years sober himself, he'd built a reputation for brutal honesty in the recovery community. "You know the rich kids' parents won't like this," he said finally. "They want to throw money at the problem, feel good about choosing the fanciest facility." Good. I took a sip of my now cold coffee. That's exactly the mindset I want to break. Addiction doesn't care about thread counts or ocean views. Neither will Reclaim. Reclaim? His eyebrow raised. The platform name. Because that's what recovery really is, reclaiming your life from the mess you made of it. My phone buzzed. Another email from Mum. I deleted it without reading, just like the last 6. "This is personal for you," Paxton observed. It wasn't a question. Everything's personal in this industry. I closed my laptop. "Are you in or out?" He drummed his fingers on the table, thinking. "Your brother, the one you told me about, he's still using?" "Probably, I wouldn't know. I'm not family anymore, according to them." "Good." His response surprised me. "You can't save someone who's actively drowning you. Trust me, I was that drowning person once." He extended his hand across the table. "I'm in, but we do this right. No shortcuts, no special treatment, no exceptions." I shook his hand. "Deal." 3 weeks later, I sat in Hallie's office, watching my best friend and PR manager review our launch strategy. "The messaging is perfect," Hallie said, pacing energetically. "Disrupting the rehab industrial complex, making real recovery accessible to everyone, not just trust fund babies. The press will eat it up." "Will they eat up the fact that I refuse to help my own brother?" Hallie stopped pacing. "That's exactly what they'll eat up. You're not just another tech CEO. You're someone who lived this nightmare, who chose tough love over enabling. That's your story." My phone lit up with a notification. An email from Dad this time. Subject line, "Final notice." "Speaking of family drama," I muttered, opening it. Hallie watched my face as I read. "That bad. They're formally cutting ties. Apparently I'm dead to them. Until I remember what family means and help Jackson." I laughed, but it came out shaky. "They even had it notarized." "Toxic people love official documentation," Hallie said, taking my phone and setting it face down. "Use it. Channel it into Reclaim. Success is the best revenge." The launch email for Reclaim went out exactly 1 month. After that night, I walked away from my family. The response was immediate. Within hours, our inbox flooded with applications from addicts' families and treatment professionals wanting to join the platform. "Look at these stories," Paxton said during our first team meeting, scrolling through submissions. "People who can't afford traditional rehab. People who've tried luxury facilities 5 times and failed. They're desperate for something different." "Something real," I added, reviewing the numbers. "We've got over 1,000 applications already. We need to start screening." "About that?" Paxton shifted uncomfortably. "We got an application from someone named Jackson. Different last name, but the details... My hand stilled on the keyboard. Forward it to the review board. Standard protocol. No special treatment. Good or bad. You sure? It's your company. You could... It's our company, I corrected him. And we built it on principles. The moment we compromise those, we're just another broken system. Later, that night, alone in my office, I finally opened the application. Jackson had used our mother's maiden name, but the story was unmistakable. His answers were perfectly crafted to pull heartstrings, just like always. My cursor hovered over the Accept button. One click and I could be the good sister again, the prodigal daughter, the family saviour. Instead, I clicked Forward to Review Board and closed my laptop. Walking to my car, I got one last notification. A news alert. Tech entrepreneur launches revolutionary addiction recovery platform. The headline made me smile, not because of the recognition, but because I knew my family would see it. They'd know what I built from the ashes of their rejection. They'd understand that their weapon of choice, abandonment, had become my foundation. Sometimes the best revenge isn't what you do to others. It's what you build without them. Day 15, check-in. Serenity's face filled my screen, her eyes clear and focused. I almost used yesterday. Had the money in my hand, knew exactly where to go. I leaned closer to my monitor, watching our Star Beta participant. Something about her rawness, her complete lack of pretense, kept drawing me in. But you didn't, I said. No, she smiled, revealing a chipped front tooth she'd never fixed. I opened the Reclaim app instead, did the emergency protocol, called my sponsor, went to a meeting. Boring stuff that actually works. Unlike the glossy testimonials from luxury rehabs, Serenity's daily video logs were unfiltered reality. No makeup, no script, no ocean backdrop, just brutal honesty from a former heroin addict fighting for her life. The boring stuff is what saves lives, I told her. How's the job search going? Got 2 interviews tomorrow, entry-level stuff, but... She shrugged. Can't be picky with my record. Besides, Reclaim taught me something. Rock bottom is where you start building. My throat tightened. Jackson used to say things like that. Practiced lines delivered with perfect sincerity. But Serenity was different. She backed her words with action. A knock at my office door interrupted us. Hallie burst in, practically vibrating with excitement. Sorry to interrupt, but you need to see this now. She thrust her tablet at me. BuzzFeed just picked up Serenity's story. It's going viral. I scanned the article. From heroin to hope. How one woman's recovery journey is changing addiction treatment. They want to interview you too, Hallie added. The Tough Love Tech CEO revolutionizing rehab. This could be huge for Reclaim. Serenity's voice came through my speakers. Should I go? Let you handle this? No, I said quickly. This is your story, Serenity. We're just the platform you used to tell it. After finishing the call, I scrolled through the article's comments. Thousands of people sharing their own addiction stories, tagging friends, asking about Reclaim. Our server nearly crashed from the traffic. Your parents will see this, Hallie said quietly. Good. I closed the browser. Let them see what real recovery looks like. That night, I couldn't sleep. Memories I'd suppressed came flooding back, finding Jackson unconscious in his car outside a dealer's house, holding his hair back while he vomited after his first overdose, writing checks I couldn't afford, believing every tearful promise that this time would be different. My phone buzzed. A text from Paxton. Turn on CNN. There was Serenity, poised and powerful in her first national interview. No designer clothes or practiced speeches, just a woman in a thrift store blazer telling the truth. Reclaim worked because it didn't coddle me, she was saying. They demanded accountability, made me face my choices. No one can recover for you, not your family, not some luxury facility. You have to do the work yourself. The interviewer leaned forward. But isn't tough love risky? Couldn't refusing to help an addict lead to tragedy? Serenity didn't hesitate. Enabling kills more addicts than tough love ever will. I know, I buried 3 friends who had families that helped them to death. My phone buzzed again. Unknown number. I almost declined it until I saw the voicemail notification. Evangeline, it's Dad. Your mother doesn't know I'm calling. I saw the interview. The girl, Serenity, she reminded me of Jackson before everything. I just wanted to say, maybe you were right. I don't know how to finish that sentence. Just be careful. Success makes you a target. And your brother, he's not well. The message ended. I played it again, searching for hidden meanings, manipulations, threats. But all I heard was fear. Real fear. Another notification popped up, an email from our board. Subject: Emergency meeting required. The preview showed just one line. Concerning multiple application attempts under various aliases, J. Harvey. My hand shook as I typed a response. Standard protocol. No exceptions. I opened my laptop and pulled up Serenity's latest check-in video. Watched her talk about her job interviews, her small victories, her honest struggles. She was building something real from her rock bottom, brick by boring brick. Meanwhile, somewhere in the city, my brother was creating fake identities, trying to game the system, just like always. My phone buzzed one more time. A text from Serenity. Hey, boss, guess what? Got the job. Starting Monday. Thanks for not saving me. Thanks for making me save myself. I stared at her message for a long time, thinking about salvation and consequences, about tough love and real love, about the fine line between revenge and justice. Finally, I texted back. You did the work, you get the credit. See you at tomorrow's check-in. Then I turned off my phone and tried to sleep, knowing tomorrow would bring new battles, new choices, new chances to prove that sometimes the cruelest thing you can do is help someone destroy themselves. The email arrived during my morning meeting. Subject line: Emergency admission request. Sender: Jackson. Please, I'm ready now. 3 words that used to send me running to his rescue. Now, they just made me tired. Evangeline? Paxton's voice snapped me back to the conference room. The quarterly numbers? Right, I closed my email. We're seeing an 87% completion rate for users who make it past week 3, compared to traditional rehab's 30%. The door burst open. Hallie rushed in, face pale. They're here. Who's here? Your parents, lobby, security's stalling them, but I was already moving. Continue without me, I told Paxton. The elevator ride felt endless. Each floor dinged past like a countdown to inevitable collision. When the doors opened, I saw them immediately. Mom looking gaunt and shaky, Dad grey and stooped. They'd aged decades in months. You can't ignore us forever, Mom said as I approached. He's your brother. This is a place of business, I replied coolly. Do you have an appointment? Don't play corporate with me. Her voice cracked. Jackson's in trouble. Real trouble this time. When isn't he? Dad stepped forward. He's facing charges. Possession with intent to distribute. They found... Stop. I held up my hand. Whatever he's done, it's not my problem anymore. He submitted an application, Mom pressed, to your program. You have to... I don't have to do anything. The words came out sharp enough to make her flinch. Reclaim has a review board. Every application goes through the same process. We're not asking for special treatment, Dad said quietly. Mom whirled on him. Yes, we are. She's his sister. She has influence. She can... she can watch her brother destroy himself? A new voice interrupted. Paxton stood behind me, arms crossed. Like you've been doing for years? Who are you to judge us? Mum snapped. I'm someone who actually got clean, Paxton said. No thanks to people like you who think love means enabling. Security approached, looking uncertain. I nodded at them. Please, escort my parents out, I said. They were just leaving. Evangeline, please. Mom grabbed my arm. Use your connections, your clout. He'll die without help. I carefully removed her hand. He'll die with the wrong kind of help, too. You heartless bitch, she whispered. I hope you're happy in your glass tower while your brother suffers. Security moved in, but Dad held up his hand. We're going. He looked at me for a long moment. You look well, Evangeline. Successful. Don't compliment her, Mom hissed as they walked away. She's dead to us, remember? After they left, I returned to my office and opened Jackson's application. His answers were perfect. Textbook recovery speak. Just what we wanted to hear. Too perfect, Paxton said, reading over my shoulder. Classic manipulation. Flag it for the board, I said. Standard review process. Already done. He sat down across from me. They rejected him an hour ago. Multiple fake applications under different names triggered an automatic ban. My laugh came out hollow. He couldn't even be honest about asking for help. Your parents' visit wasn't a coincidence, Paxton said. They knew he'd be rejected. They came to pressure you. They came to remind me I'm the villain in their story. I closed my laptop. The cruel sister who won't save her brother. You can't save someone who's actively trying to game the system. Tell that to my mother. My phone buzzed. A news alert. Local dealer arrested, multiple charges. My heart stopped when I saw the address. It was 2 blocks from my parents' house. Another email popped up. From Jackson. If you don't help me, I'll tell everyone how you abandoned your own brother. How your precious company lets addicts die. How you're just a bitter bitch getting revenge. Forward that to legal, Paxton said quietly. We need to document everything now. I nodded numb. He's spiraling. Yes, and he's trying to drag you down with him. My phone rang, Serenity's number. I almost declined it, but something made me answer. Hey, boss. Her voice was steady, grounding. Heard there was drama in the lobby. You okay? No, I admitted, but I will be. Want to know what my family did when I was using? She asked. Everything yours is doing, enabling, threatening, guilt-tripping. Know where it got me? Nearly dead in a gas station bathroom. And now they don't speak to me. Because I got clean on my terms, not theirs. She paused. Sometimes family is the price of survival. After we hung up, I sat in my office watching the city lights come on. Somewhere out there, my brother was plotting his next move. My parents were probably already crafting their next attack. But for the first time, their desperation felt like validation. They wouldn't be here if Reclaim wasn't working. They wouldn't be scared if I hadn't finally found my power. I forwarded Jackson's email to legal, then turned off my phone. Let them come. I was ready. The funeral home smelled like artificial flowers and regret. Marcus, Serenity's former sponsor, was dead. Overdose. The same demon he'd helped others fight had finally caught him. He had 10 years clean, Serenity whispered beside me, her voice raw. 10 years and 1 bad day took it all. I watched her twist the sobriety chip in her hands. 6 months clean. Such a fragile milestone, suddenly feeling more precarious than ever. The memorial photos showed a different Marcus than I'd known. Younger, healthier, surrounded by the people he'd helped. In one picture, he stood proudly outside his first apartment after getting clean. In another, he was speaking at a recovery meeting, eyes bright with purpose. He saved my life once, Serenity said, found me behind a dumpster, barely breathing. Instead of calling 911, he sat with me through withdrawal, said he wouldn't let the system swallow me up. The memory hit me like a punch, finding Jackson in his car, lips blue, needle still in his arm. I'd called 911 that time. Had to watch them Narcan him back to life while he fought them, cursed me, promised he'd never forgive me for ruining his high. Evangeline? Serenity touched my arm. You're shaking. I need air. Outside, the autumn wind cut through my blazer. I sank onto a bench, memories flooding back faster than I could suppress them. Jackson, 16, stealing Mum's jewellery for drug money. Me, covering for him because he's just going through a phase. Jackson, 18, totaling his first car. Me, giving him my college savings to pay for repairs because he'll pay me back. Jackson, 20, overdosing at my graduation. Me, missing the ceremony to sit in the ER while Mum blamed me for stressing him out with my success. Jackson, 24, stealing my identity to open credit cards. Me, working double shifts to pay off his debt because family protects family. Here. Serenity appeared with 2 paper cups of coffee. It hits harder at funerals, doesn't it? All the what-ifs. I destroyed my life trying to save his, I said, the words spilling out. My grades, my scholarships, my first business, all sacrificed on the altar of my brother's addiction. And they called it love. That's not love, she said firmly. That's slow suicide. Inside, the service was starting. Marcus's sister was speaking, her voice carrying through the open door. We thought love meant never giving up. But sometimes love means letting go. My phone vibrated. A text from Hallie. News alert. You need to see this. The headline made my coffee turn to acid in my stomach. Local man arrested in drug sting. Claims sister's recovery program denied him help. Jackson, I whispered. Serenity read over my shoulder. He's desperate. Cornered animals always bite hardest. Another text from Paxton. Board emergency meeting in 1 hour. Your brother's accusations are gaining traction. I have to go. I stood, hands still shaking. I'm sorry about Marcus. Don't be sorry, Serenity said. Be strong. What you built with Reclaim, it's what Marcus believed in. Real recovery, not enabling wrapped in family guilt. I looked back at the funeral home, at the photos of a man who saved others but couldn't save himself. At Serenity, holding her 6-month chip like a shield against the darkness. You know what the hardest part is? I asked her. Sometimes I miss him. The him before the drugs. The little brother who used to make me laugh, who drew me pictures, who looked at me like I could fix anything. That's the real tragedy of addiction, she said softly. It doesn't just kill people. It replaces them with shadows wearing their faces. My phone buzzed again. Mum this time. How dare you deny your brother help and then parade around at recovery events, pretending to care about addicts. You're a fraud and everyone will know it. I showed Serenity the message. She read it and handed the phone back with a sad smile. You know what Marcus told me once? He said, enabling isn't love, it's fear dressed up as loyalty. Real love is harder. Real love sometimes means watching someone hit bottom because that's the only way they'll look up. The wind picked up, scattering autumn leaves across the funeral home steps. Inside, people were sharing memories of Marcus, of lives he'd touched, of battles he'd helped others win, even as he lost his own. I have to face the board, I said, deal with Jackson's accusations. Go, Serenity squeezed my hand. Show them what real recovery looks like. Show them why we can't compromise, even for family, especially for family. I walked to my car, leaving behind the scent of artificial flowers and the weight of what-ifs. Ahead lay another battle, another test of conviction. Marcus had lost his fight, but maybe, just maybe, his death could help me win mine. The media's having a field day. Hallie announced to the packed boardroom. Local news, social media, recovery blogs, they're all running with the story. Tech CEO denies own brother life-saving treatment. I sat silently as she clicked through screenshots. My brother's mugshot, my company headshot. Side-by-side comparisons that made us look like a modern Cain and Abel. Your brother's lawyers are pushing a narrative, our legal counsel explained. They're claiming Reclaim discriminates against applicants with criminal records, that we're elitist, hypocritical. Show them the applications, Paxton said. Hallie pulled up Jackson's multiple attempts. 5 different names, 5 different stories, each one more manipulative than the last. He wasn't rejected for having a record, I said finally. He was banned for lying, for trying to game the system. The public doesn't care about technicalities, a board member argued. They see a sister abandoning her brother. It's bad optics. Optics? Sorrenti's voice cut through the room. I hadn't even noticed her arrive. Is that what we care about now? Not actual recovery? Mrs. Webb, another board member began, while we appreciate your perspective. My perspective? Serenity laughed sharply. You mean my experience as someone who actually got clean, who went through this program honestly. Let me tell you about perspective. She walked to the front of the room, commanding attention despite her thrift store clothes and chipped tooth. Yesterday, I buried my sponsor. 10 years clean, then gone. You know what his family said? That they wished they'd been tougher, that they wished they'd stopped enabling him sooner. She pointed at Jackson's mugshot. This man doesn't want recovery. He wants a get-out-of-jail-free card. The board needs to vote, the chairman interrupted. Ms. Harvey, as CEO, you should recuse yourself. I stood. Agreed. But first, let me say something. All eyes turned to me. I took a deep breath, thinking of Marcus's funeral, of all the lives lost to well-intentioned enabling. Reclaim works because we don't compromise. Every success story we have, including Serenity, is built on that foundation. The moment we start making exceptions, we become just another broken system. Even if it costs you your brother? Someone asked. My brother was lost long before this, I said quietly. I'm not willing to lose everyone else we could help just to maintain the illusion that I can save him. I walked out, leaving them to vote. In the hallway, Paxton followed. Your mother's outside, he warned. Press 2. Of course she is. I checked my phone. 17 missed calls. What's she saying? The usual. That you're heartless. That you're punishing Jackson for old grievances. That you... He stopped as my phone rang again. Speaking of the devil, I muttered, showing him Mum's name on the screen. Put it on speaker, he suggested. I answered. Mum's voice filled the hallway, tight with fury. I hope you sleep tonight knowing you killed your brother. Is that what you tell yourself, Mom? That I'm killing him? Not the drugs, not the enabling, not your refusal to ever let him face consequences? He's facing consequences now. He's looking at real prison time. Good. The word came out before I could stop it. Maybe that's what he needs. How dare you? No, how dare you? How dare you blame me for finally saying no? How dare you show up here with cameras and accusations when you're the ones who've been helping him die slowly for years? Silence. Then, you're not the daughter I raised. Thank God for that. I ended the call. The boardroom door opened. Hallie emerged, face unreadable. Well? Votes in. They're backing you. Rejection stands. Relief flooded through me, followed immediately by guilt. What kind of sister feels relief at denying her brother help? The kind who knows the difference between help and enabling, Serenity said, as if reading my mind. The kind who's brave enough to be hated for doing the right thing. My phone buzzed one final time. A text from Dad. Your mother's wrong. You are exactly the daughter we raised. Strong, principled. We just didn't expect those principles to ever turn against us. I showed Paxton the message. He read it and nodded slowly. He's starting to understand, he said. That's something. It's not enough, I replied, but my voice wavered. It never is, Serenity said, but it's a start. Through the windows, I could see Mum talking to reporters, playing her role perfectly, the desperate mother fighting a heartless system. But for the first time, her performance didn't touch me. Ready to face the press? Hallie asked. I straightened my jacket, thinking of Marcus, of Serenity, of all the people we could still help if we stayed true to our principles. Yes, I said, let's go tell the truth. The video went viral within hours. Jackson, wild-eyed and belligerent, fighting with police outside a convenience store. His voice slurred but clear enough. My sister thinks she's better than everyone with her fancy rehab program. She let this happen. I watched it for the third time in my office, each viewing hurting less than the last. We need to respond, Hallie said, pacing behind me. The press is... Look at this timestamp, I interrupted, pausing the footage. This was filmed yesterday, while Mom was outside our building crying to reporters about how desperately he wanted help. My phone lit up, Serenity calling. Turn on TED Talks live stream, she said without preamble. I'm about to go on. I switched screens just in time to see Serenity walk onto the red circle. Gone was the thrift store clothing, replaced by a simple black dress, but her chipped tooth still showed when she smiled. Perfectly, authentically imperfect. 6 months ago, I was dying, she began. Not the dramatic Hollywood kind of dying, the slow, grinding kind that addiction specializes in. Today, I'm alive, not because someone saved me, but because someone refused to. The audience was silent, captivated. Reclaim didn't save my life by coddling me. They saved it by demanding I save myself, by showing me that rock bottom isn't a place, it's a choice to either keep digging or start climbing. My office door burst open. Paxton rushed in, tablet in hand. Security breach, he said tersely. Someone tried to hack our system, tried to create a fake profile using Serenity's ID. Jackson? No. He showed me the logs. Your father. I stared at the evidence. Clumsy but determined attempts to forge documents, to create a backdoor for Jackson using Serenity's success story as a template. On screen, Serenity was still speaking. The hardest part of recovery isn't getting clean. It's staying clean when everyone who claims to love you keeps trying to drag you back into comfortable patterns of destruction. What do you want to do? Hallie asked quietly. Document everything, I said. Send it to legal and draft a statement. Saying what? I looked at Serenity on screen, standing tall and honest in her hard-won victory. Then, at the paused video of my brother, raging and broken in his chosen defeat. The truth. All of it. An hour later, I stood before a forest of microphones. At Reclaim, we believe in accountability, even when it's family, especially when it's family. My brother's addiction didn't happen in a vacuum. It was fertilized by enablers, myself included. For years, I wrote checks, made excuses, cleaned up messes, calling it love while watching him die. Cameras flashed. Reporters shouted questions. I held up my hand. Today, my family tried to hack our system, to steal another recovering addict's identity, to cheat their way into a program that only works because we refuse to cheat. They call this love. I call it what it is, abuse, of trust, of resources, of the very concept of recovery. My phone buzzed. Mum calling. I declined without looking. Reclaim isn't just a company. It's a promise. To every addict ready to do the work. To every family member brave enough to stop enabling. To everyone who understands that Sometimes love means standing firm while someone you care about hits bottom. Later, alone in my office, I watched the statement go viral. Tough love works started trending. Testimonials poured in from families who'd made similar choices. Former enablers sharing their turning points. Then came the security alert. Another attempted breach, this time from an internet cafe near my parents' house. Amateur, desperate attempts to access our system. My phone lit up with a text from Dad. Your mother doesn't know, I had to try something, anything. He's getting worse. Before I could respond, another alert popped up. A news update. Local man arrested for assault and drug possession after convenience store altercation. Jackson's mugshot stared back at me. No more wild eyes or slurred accusations. Just empty defeat. Serenity's TED Talk had ended. The standing ovation was still echoing through my speakers when she called. You saw the news? Yes. You okay? I thought about it. Really thought. Yes, because for the first time, I'm not responsible for his choices. Karma's a mirror, she said softly. It shows people exactly what they've been. My email pinged. The daily reclaim success metrics. Completion rates up. Relapse rates down. Real people getting real help because we refuse to compromise. Your brother? Serenity said. He'll hit bottom eventually. I know. The question is, will you be strong enough to let him? I looked at my phone. More missed calls from Mom. More desperate texts from Dad. Then, at my computer screen, where success stories scrolled past like stars in the darkness. I already am, I said, and meant it. You should see this place. Serenity's voice echoed through my car's speakers as I drove home. We've got 3 floors now. Real beds, not just cots. A computer lab for job searches. It's everything we dreamed Reclaim could be. I smiled, picturing her giving tours of her new recovery centre. Send pictures. I want to see what you've built. What we built, she corrected. None of this exists without you taking that first stand. Rain pelted my windshield as I pulled into my driveway. How's the success rate? 78% completion. No shortcuts, no exceptions, just like you taught me. Inside my house, I kicked off my heels and sank onto the couch. A dusty photo album caught my eye, one I hadn't opened since that night I walked away from my family. Evangeline? Serenity's voice softened. There's something else, something you should know. I opened the album. There we were, Jackson and me building sandcastles, Jackson and me racing bikes, Jackson and me before everything broke. What is it? We got a new admission today. He registered under a fake name, but... She paused. It's Jackson. The album slipped from my hands, photos scattering across the floor. He didn't try to game the system this time, she continued. No manipulation, no shortcuts. He's just... here, doing the work. I bent to gather the photos, hands shaking. Does he know you know? Yes, he asked me not to tell you. Said he needed to do this without family pressure, either positive or negative. A new text lit up my phone. Mum's latest attempt at contact. I deleted it without reading, just like all the others. You might want to watch the evening news, Serenity added. He gave an interview. I found the channel just in time. There was my brother, sitting in what looked like a group therapy room. No designer clothes, no practice charm, just Jackson, looking older and somehow smaller. I spent years blaming everyone else, he was saying. My sister, especially. It was easier than admitting I was the problem. But watching her build something that actually helps people, watching her choose truth over family loyalty, it broke something in me. Something that needed breaking. I muted the TV, fighting for breath. He's different this time, Serenity said quietly. I've seen enough recovery to know the real thing. Or maybe he's just better at faking it. Maybe. But that's not your burden anymore. You did the hardest thing. You walked away. Let him do the hard thing now. My doorbell rang. Through the peephole, I saw Dad standing in the rain, alone. I have to go, I told Serenity. Someone's here. I opened the door. Dad looked older, greyer, but somehow lighter. I saw his interview, he said simply. So did I. Your mother, she's still... He trailed off. But I needed to tell you something. That night, when you walked away, you weren't the one who abandoned family. We were. The rain fell harder, but neither of us moved. I'm not asking for forgiveness, he continued, or reconciliation. I just wanted you to know you were right about everything. My phone buzzed again. A video message from Serenity. I opened it there, with Dad watching. The footage showed Jackson in a group session. My name is Jackson, he was saying, and I am an addict. Not because my sister wouldn't help me, not because my parents enabled me, because I chose to be. And now I'm choosing something else. Dad watched silently, tears mixing with rain on his face. He's really there? He asked finally. Yes, but this time we have to let him do it alone, like you did. He turned to leave, then stopped. I'm proud of you, Evangeline, not for your success, for your strength. After he left, I sat among the scattered photos, looking at the ghosts of who we used to be. My phone lit up one last time. Another deleted email from Mum. Some bridges stay burned, some wounds don't heal completely. But sometimes, that's the price of truth. I picked up a photo, Jackson and me, arms around each other, laughing at some forgotten joke. We looked happy. We looked whole. Maybe we'd never be those people again, but maybe we could be something else, something real, something earned. My phone rang. Serenity again. He's asking to make his first video check-in, she said. Standard protocol. No special treatment. Should I approve? I looked at the photo one last time, then set it aside. Yes, I said. Let him do the work. Outside, the rain began to ease. Tomorrow would bring new challenges, new choices, new chances to choose truth over comfort. But for now, in this moment, karma had finally found its balance. And somewhere in Serenity's centre, my brother was choosing to save himself. That would have to be enough.